What's going on, Colts Nation? Appreciate you joining me for another video. And before we get into the video, just know that in the description there is a link for Green Gridiron where you can get mini helmets or authentic NFL helmets. Okay, and make sure to use the discount code INDSYN at checkout and use that referral code down in the description so that they know I sent you. Okay, so again, go to the description. Holiday season coming up. Mini helmets, mini helmet accessories, helmet accessories, whatever the case may be. You want it for you, your man cave, a loved one, whatever the case is. Mini helmets and authentic NFL helmets can be found on Green Gridiron. The link in the description. Again, that is code INDSYN for the discount code. I appreciate you stopping by. And now let's get into the video. What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where today we're going to talk a little bit about the upcoming opponent. Obviously, the Colts have the Lions this week, the best team in the NFL, in my opinion. Even though the Chiefs were the last unbeaten team in the NFL, the Lions, to me, have been the best team in the NFL for most of the season. And just looking at the game coming in, boy, it is not going to be easy going up against the Lions, who are 9-1. On the season. They haven't lost since week 2 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the only loss they have this season. And when you look at the versatility that they have on offense, you just look at our defense and our inconsistency. Even though some games our defense plays outstanding, our defense as of late, for the most part, has been good. We tend to let up 20 plus points on a regular basis, even though the defense can be dominant for a lot of a game. But nonetheless, we're going to have to score points. Anthony Richardson comes back. We score 28 points. Once again, over 20 for us when he plays. And with him coming back, looking as sharp as he did, it's not going to be that easy, right? And don't get me wrong, the Jets have a lot of talent on that defense, but they have not been the same since Robert Saleh got fired. So, it was a little easier of a matchup for Anthony Richardson, despite what some of the numbers will say and what the talent was on that team. And he made some impressive plays, some really good throws, and led us on that comeback win. So got to give credit where credit's due. Anthony willed us to that win. So can he do that again? Like in going back in Lucas Oil, it's going to be nice. Everybody's going to be excited to see Anthony after the performance that he had. So come back to Lucas Oil when the offense gets announced, like the crowd's going to go nuts. Crowd's going to go nuts. So when that happens, right, with the energy coming out, can we use that energy to get on top of the Lions early and be able to stay on top of the Lions? Because that's the problem. We got to be able to put 4 quarters together, even in the game against the Jets. Come out with a win. We dominated most of that game, but there was a moment there, third quarter, starting the second half there in the third quarter. It's like offensively, defensively, special teams all got outplayed in the third quarter, and it almost lost us the game. While I have your attention, if you enjoy the content, hit that like button, and of course, be subscribed and have notifications turned on. When you look at the channel, the amount of people that come here, 52.6% of the people that have watched content on this channel over the last month are not subscribed. And just to go deeper into those numbers, of the almost 14,000 views on this channel in the past month, 66.8% of those views come from people that are not subscribed to the channel. If you're one of those people, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Again, if you enjoy the content, hit that like button. Now, let's get back to the video. They end up, figuring out in the fourth quarter, but to beat the Lions, you're going to need to play a 4-quarter game. So it's going to be a massive test for this team. Biggest test of the season, right? When you look at the remaining schedule for us, right? After the Lions, we get the Patriots, then finally get a bye week, which is great. And then we finish the year. I know the Broncos are in there, the Giants. I believe the Titans are in there. And I can't remember do we finish the year with the Titans? I can't remember what the very end of the schedule is, but very favorable. We play a lot of not good teams. I'm pretty sure it's the Jaguars in Indy, though. But nonetheless. Yes. Anthony, going back to Lucas Oil, going to have the Lions in. Just looking in previewing, early kind of preview on this game and looking at the line, just in case you haven't paid much attention to the Lions. This year, they started the year a little slower, right? 26-20 over the Rams in overtime. Then they lose to Tampa 20-16. And then Arizona, they win that game 20-13. And then they start turning into the current iteration of the Lions, where they went 42-29, had a bye week, 47-9, 31-29 Minnesota, one of the better teams in the league, especially in week 7. Minnesota was still very highly ranked. I think that was actually for the lead in the NFC North. And then Tennessee, they beat them 52-14. Green Bay beat them 24-14. Beat Houston 26-23. And then last week beat Jacksonville 52-6. So they've played 3 teams in the AFC South. 2 of them got 52 put on them. The Texans got 26 put on them. We're the last AFC South team that the Lions are going to play. And we got to come out and represent. All right. All these teams lost, and they did it. They had three teams in 4 weeks from the AFC South. So we got to come out. We got to show up, and it's a tall test. I don't know if we're going to be able to get it done. But as I sit here and look through, right, you look at what they've done, and just looking at some of the ranks for the Lions here, they lead the league in yards per attempt, 9.2. Now, I think it's also important to note how Jared Goff has been playing and what his stats look like. And it's honestly ridiculous as you sit here and look at this. He's throwing 64.3, 61.8 to begin the year. And then that's where it starts really going up, where it's 78.3. 100. He didn't miss a pass. 18 for 18. Okay, that is the second least amount of passes that he threw this season. But 18 for 18, 292, and 2 touchdowns, 100% completion. And then 72, 88 against the Vikings. Then 80% on 15 passes against the Titans, but he still had 3 touchdowns in that game. 81.8, 50% against Houston, so he did struggle more against Houston. That's where he threw 5 interceptions, but the Lions are a team that can throw 5 interceptions and still win a football game, right? He still had 2 touchdown passes, was 15 of 30, 240, 2 touchdown passes, and then comes out last week against Jacksonville. I mean, they did whatever they wanted for that entire game. 24 for 29, 412, 4 touchdowns. On the season, Jared Goff, 73% completion percentage, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and of course 5 coming in one game. So, I mean, when you look at Jared Goff, he's playing ridiculous this year. The run game is ridiculous. Amon-Ra St. Brown is absolutely ridiculous. Catches everything that comes his way, seemingly. Jameson Williams is going to be hard to stop, right? When you look at rushing leaders for the Lions this season, it's gone Montgomery, Gibbs, Montgomery, Gibbs, Montgomery, Gibbs, Gibbs, Montgomery, Gibbs, Montgomery. They just trade off being the leaders in the clubhouse, and there are games where both of them will go off, which is more likely than not. Especially the way our defense has been against the run. Their run game scares me a bit, right? And then, of course, the receivers. And with Sam Laporta, and they're assuming that he's going to be able to play, right? They have weapons, and then their receiving guys this year, leaders in receiving in games have gone Williams, St. Brown, Williams, St. Brown, Laporta, St. Brown, Laporta, St. Brown. So they have versatility all over the offense. Jared Goff doesn't have to throw the ball 20 times for them to dominate a game, but he can throw a bunch, put up a bunch of yards, some touchdowns. But he also showed that he can give up the ball at times. So hopefully we're able to bait him into it. Our guys seem to be really good at passes defended. And, Kenny Moore is a good interception guy. Julian Blackmon, a good interception guy. But Jalen Jones has a lot of passes defended, not so much the interceptions. So hopefully we can, just find ways to get turnovers. Hopefully, maybe we can see Latu find a way to get a sack. I'll have to look into the Lions' injuries. Taylor Decker may or may not be out. I don't remember if that's like a full season thing or how long that is, or if Decker's back in the Lions lineup, but could see Latu end up having a good game. So just want to see the Colts be able to come out and be competitive against the Lions. right? I don't want it to be 52-6. Right, or however they beat the, what was it, 52-14 against Tennessee. Right, I want Anthony to play well. I want us to at least look like a competent football team. Okay, we looked really good this past week. Again, not for the entire game, but for most of the game, looked really good on offense. Defense held their own for a lot of that game, and by the end of it, came out with a win. If we can just find ways to win, that'd be great. And of course, we'll have a prediction later in the week for this game. And this is just a look ahead at a lot of things about the Lions, right? And I don't even think I went through everything else, right? I talked about them leading the league 9.2 yards per attempt in the passing game. And then in the running game, the Ravens lead the league at 5.8, but the Lions are at 4.7 yards per carry this season. Really good, definitely above average there. And then when you look at their passing defense, the Eagles lead the league with 6.1 yards per attempt given up. The Lions are at 6.8. They don't have numbers next to it. That's somewhere right around top 10 there for the Lions in terms of passing. And then when you look at their rushing defense, definitely been touted as one of the better run stopping teams this year. They're at 4.3 yards per carry given up. Now we're at 4.4. Right? We've gotten better since the beginning of the season, but still some inconsistencies, especially on the outside, which is where Jahmyr Gibbs could absolutely kill us. So that's really what I'm looking for this upcoming week, is how do we match up with their offense. And again, we'll continue to look at this. We'll of course look at injuries. We'll have the pregame preview here in a couple days, so make sure you subscribe with notifications on so you get notified anytime we have any videos, any updates, when we go live for games, whatever the case may be. Make sure you get notified for it. Of course, I appreciate you stopping by for another video, and as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.